Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm giving an update on the 12-gallon long tank that I set up about a couple months ago or so. Somebody in the comments had asked to see an update of the tank in a couple weeks, but for me, realistically, there's not going to be a lot of change. It usually takes a couple months or so to see any real change with your plants, in my experience, like I said. But I wasn't running CO2, though I did fertilize every now and then. So I don't have an extensive amount of change in the plants, but I do want to take you back to a month ago and then show you the type of care that I was taking with this tank as far as water changes go and stuff. So you can see exactly how I maintained this. And then also so you can see a realistic view of what it looks like as far as plants melting go, because I did struggle with the crypts. Of course they melted naturally, but they all came back. But yes, let me send you back to a month ago. It's been about 4 weeks now since this tank was set up, and I have had lots of plants melt away in that time. The crypts especially pretty much all melted away, and but as you can see, all of those leaves that you're looking at now are all new leaves. And so it's important to make sure when you're doing your water changes, you siphon out the dead plant matter. But crypts, more than likely, they'll come back. They're just a little bit dramatic. But yeah, that's all new growth there. I also had the plants melt on some of my stem plants over here, as you can see. But good news is there's a lot of new growth coming back as well. So it's easy to panic at first when you see lots of your plants dying, but as you can see here, all new growth, all good things. So yeah, don't panic. Totally normal part of the process. And as you can see over here on this plant that I'm pointing to, all of the purple leaves that were growing on this plant have also melted away, which is also normal because that's what the plant looks like when it's grown immersed out of the water. But once submerged and grown under the water, it'll grow these smaller green leaves. So again, as long as your plants aren't totally melting away and they still have new growth, then things are going well for you. So yes, don't panic. Alright guys, first thing that I'm starting with is cleaning off any algae buildup and mold that's been growing on the wood, and you can do that with just a toothbrush, or if you want you can do that with your sponge, but I find using a toothbrush is a little easier. Then same exact thing on the other side. If you look closely at the right side of the tank, these stem plants are looking a little bit leggy because a lot of the leaves have melted away. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim them probably about 1.5 inches from the base of the plant, and then I'll go ahead and replant all of those trimmings. But this is just going to allow for a bushier looking stem plant, because when you trim the plant, it actually encourages new growth, so you'll get 2 new stem plants growing off that one original stem. And then when you replant your trimmings, then you're adding even more plants, giving it a much fuller look in your planted aquarium. Alright guys, so all you do is take your trimmings and you collect them in a little group of 2 or 3. You can even plant them individually. And you just take them with your tongs and you just replant them straight back into the substrate. And it is as simple as that. Alright guys, plants have been trimmed and replanted, and I just wanted to give you an aerial view so that way you can see what it looks like now that it's been replanted. It's a lot more full, and then it's going to look really good once it grows in, so in a few weeks I'll show you what that looks like. And now we're just going to carry on with regular maintenance. Gonna clean off the glass, gonna clean out the filter, and then gonna go ahead and do a water change. But yeah, nothing too complicated about taking care of your tank after you've set it up. Just make sure you follow these steps and be routine with your water changes, and you will have a nice full looking tank in no time. last but not least, I'm going to be adding a little bit of fertilizer. It's the APT3, and I can put the link in the description if you'd also like to use the same. But I'm just going to be adding barely any. I'll show you how much. But it's not going to be a lot because in the beginning you don't want to throw off your water quality. So just go on the light side, and then once your tank's a little more established and you have more plants, you can dose a little stronger. But yeah, it's as simple as that. And then in about 3 or 4 more weeks, I'll check in with you guys again so you can see the progress. But everything's coming along really well, and I look forward to showing you how it looks in the future. And we're back. That was crazy. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys up close so that way you can see a lot of the growth that I've had here. I did trim and replant the Rotala, as you saw, but most of it has grown back already. And then also, if you get a close-up, you can see that the crypts have all grown back, no more melting, and getting quite a bit of new leaves coming out, so that's really good. Also, if you've noticed over here, these plants are now growing immersed, so that's pretty cool. I think they're actually going to have little flowers. I'm not too sure. It looks like it anyways. Sad news is that the pink flamingo crypt that I planted in here from my other tank did melt and it never came back. So I did buy, if you look, these crypts right here are both new that I did plant earlier this week. But yeah, the pink flamingos never came back. And sometimes you just lose plants, and that's normal. I mean, I've definitely lost my fair share of plants. But yeah, so a lot of new growth, which is nice to see. The plants, the crypt that was really long also melted all the way away, which it will grow back. Like, there's a bunch of new little leaves in the back that are like this big, but they'll get tall again. I did get new lights, and they're both super cheap lights. They were like $45 each or something, maybe $50, which is like pretty cheap for a good quality light. Like, as you can see, the plants are all super happy. But yeah, I can also, if you guys want something kind of cheap but good quality lighting, I can leave a link in the description as well for that, for the lights. Oh, also, forgot to tell you guys in the other video, or maybe I did, I don't remember. But the vinyl that I put back here, I ended up having to take off because there was sand that I accidentally got stuck in the crack. And then I opened it a little bit to try to get the sand out, and then it fell further down, so then I had to pull it down more. And then when I tried to reapply it, it turned into like a huge mess of bubbles. So anyways, I may or may not put that back on, depends. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys one last look at the tank because I am going to be moving it back to my father-in-law's house just because I feel like it's reached its point where, like, hopefully everything's good and he won't have any issues with it. And I hope he really likes it. I like it. I think it came out pretty good. But yeah, other than that, I guess all that's left to do is pick out fish. So if you guys have any good suggestions, leave it down in the comments and I'll let him know. I'd love to see what ideas you guys have. I was thinking something real small, so that way he could put like a school of them, because it'd be fun to see them go back and forth. But I'd love to see what you guys say as well. So thank you so much for watching. And if you didn't see the first video with the tutorial and you want to set something up similar, just go back. I'll leave the link in the description. So that way, if you want to, you can go back and see how it was built and try and build something similar yourselves. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe, like, and comment. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.